can start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, we would like to appreciate our viewers, concerned citizens who have been following up the issue of South Sudanese students in Zimbabwe who have shut down the embassy yesterday on Tuesday. First and foremost, we would like to update the public the situation that has transpired for the South Sudanese student in Zimbabwe to shut down the embassy under the government scholarship. Most people are aware that this scholarship was issued in 2015. This scholarship was issued, and about 150 South Sudanese students came to Zimbabwe in order to further their studies. And up to that moment, I think there was an agreement that was signed between our government and the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe. In these agreements that I think in one point or another, some obligations have not been satisfied, or part of the agreements have not been met fully. So out of the 8 semesters that the students have spent here in Zimbabwe, our government have only managed to pay 2 semesters and a half. And these charges have increased. Right now, there's a debt of 1.4 million that is required. And in this very same year, this year, there was a sitting by the Council of Ministers whereby an approval was met of 1.4 million by the Council of Ministers, directing the Ministry of Finance to release this fund to South Sudanese students under scholarship in various countries within Africa and across the continent. Up to this moment, the Ministry of Finance have not released the indicated fund. They have not discharged the funds. And this situation has also oxidized other various challenges. As we are speaking, in Zimbabwe, we have about 79 out of 130 have completed their studies. But out of that, these students, they have been denied to have their transcripts and documents, and these students have remained stuck. Apart from that, we also have students, there are some other universities that also don't provide food to our students, and these students, they are left beyond starvation. We also have other universities that have denied to give out the transcript to our students. All of these issues have happened, and we don't blame the Republic of Zimbabwe for this particular situation because the government of Zimbabwe have actually stood in solidarity with us here in Zimbabwe over the last 4 years. They have stand with us in solidarity, and that's why we have been, without us or without our government paying those particular amount, that's why we have been in a position to pursue our studies. Now we are requesting, or we are sending our message to the Honorable or to the Ministry of Finance to release that particular amount of money that was approved by the Council of Ministers, chaired by His Excellency the President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency General Salva Kiir. And we also urge the government to speed up this process, because at the moment the students have occupied the embassy out of these challenges that we are facing. To add on top again, the Embassy of the Republic of South Sudan in Zimbabwe have been sending letters to our government and also to the concerned ministries, which is the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Technology. But over this period of time, we have not had any response from the Ministry of Higher Education. They don't respond to the letters that have been addressed to them by the embassy. So there's a communication breakdown between the embassy and the concerned ministry, which is the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Technology in South Sudan. Out of this period, our embassy has been begging the Zimbabwean and the institution to allow the student to proceed with their studies. So yeah, Jamana, I think some issues we have to deal with them critically. I believe our country is a rich country. and it's also a country that has been blessed by God. So we should not be seen as beggars, and that's why me and my colleagues, we have decided to come and occupy it where it belongs to us. We believe the embassy is our home, and that's why we have not gone to the street, because the embassy represents our country, our nation, and that's why instead of going to the street, we have decided to come and stay in our own territory such that we protect the integrity of our country. So I believe that the Honorable Minister of Finance, which is Honorable Salvatore, should take this message with serious consideration, and he should respond urgently such that this matter can be solved, because it does not send a good signal for a country like South Sudan to be begging for issues that are not actually very critical. This money, it's not a lot of money to our country, because South Sudan is one of the country, oil-rich country. So I don't think that it can be hard for the government to sustain their own future builders of the country. I believe a country that invests in education, it's a country that set its future in terms of prosperity and development. So I believe whatever South Sudan has to do in realization of its dream, our country has to continue to invest in higher education, because through the higher education, science and technology, that's when we conduct research, and that's how we find out how best we can able to build the country in terms of industrialization and modernization, because we believe it's through higher education, high institution of learning, that we can able to conduct research and also to come up with sustainable solutions that helps the country to prosper. South Sudan today is economically going down because we are not producing. We don't have the industries. We don't have the industries that are producing. We are almost importing the basic commodities from our foreign countries, and therefore we lost a lot of hard currency to other countries, therefore draining our economy. So, but I believe with the investment that the country is trying to do by investing in higher education, I believe we can able to solve these things, because the students who are partaking their studies in Zimbabwe, most of them, they are basically dealing with science and technological courses. So I believe with the skills and expertise that they have gained, we can collectively join together and able to develop our country and able to take it into the next step, so that we become a stable country and a country that we all wish to have. So at this particular moment of time, the South Sudanese, the student in Zimbabwe, we stand in government with the government in solidarity and also in the implementation of peace, and that's why you see we have been trying as much as we can to be patriotic citizens, and that's why no matter what challenges, we don't go to the street, we don't portray the image or the negative part of us to other people. That's why we have come to the embassy and to stay here, even if it takes us for us to die, and then we should die in the embassy, but not outside, such that someone might not look our country as a country that has failed, and also as a country that does not care about its young one. We are young people, and I believe the future of a country is always an investment in young people, because in the young people, that's where by this ability to build the country and also the momentum to able to change the country. So our message is that we have occupied the embassy, and in another word, we have shut down the embassy, and we have done that one faithfully. That's why you see we have come into the embassy, but we have not done any destruction. Everything it is as the way it was, because this embassy, it was an SPLM chapter that was meant, it's the only property that belonged to the government of South Sudan, because this is where our founding father of our country, Dr. John Garang, this is where he was staying. It's the same embassy. This is the same embassy that our former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Marial Benjamin, was staying, and the rest of the people. So it was it's a historical embassy, and that's why we always come here and stay instead of thinking of being elsewhere. So our message to our people and to the government, and also precisely to the office of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Sudan. He should take this information seriously, and he should advise the Honorable Minister of Finance to comply with the resolution that was made by Council of Ministers. And also, we also encourage the Minister of Information, Honorable Michael McQuay, to take this matter seriously. It's not worthy for a country that is producing for their own future generation to suffer. Right now, we are sleeping on the floor. All these days we have no place to sleep. Others, even source of food is hard. But we have decided to be men and to be leaders. That's why we are all trying to persevere regardless of this high situation. Currently, right now, it's actually winter in Zimbabwe, and you see students, they have been sleeping in the floor here, and we don't even have better places to sleep. Even the issue of food or any other thing, it's very much critical. So we want the Honorable Minister of Finance to urgently release the funds that was approved by the Council of Ministers, so that these 79 South Sudanese students who have accomplished their degrees program can go back to the country and participate in national development. And also we believe if these areas are cleared, it will also pave way for other students who are still progressing with their studies, because we still have a huge number that is yet to finish next year and the other year respectively, based on the type of the degree program that they are partaking in Zimbabwe. The other issue also, as I mentioned earlier on, there are some universities that they don't provide food to our students. So if these fees are cleared, it means that these particular universities will provide accommodation and food to our students. And we also have universities as well who have not issued the results to some of our students. So we believe if all these areas are cleared, it means that it will pave way for them to proceed with their studies. But the government of Zimbabwe, we are honestly thankful to them, because over this long decades of period of time, they have been feeding us, accommodating us, giving us all the necessary tools for our studies, and that's why up to this moment of time, most 79 of us are able to complete their studies. Was it not because of the good country that we have and the good people of Zimbabwe, we would have been kicked on the street, but the government of Zimbabwe have chosen various occasions to stand with the government of South Sudan. So on the other hand, the government of South Sudan should be able to respond. They should also do the same, because I think the Zimbabwean government, they have complied with their memorandum of understanding. It's only our government that is not complying based on the agreement that was done. And then to the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Technology back in South Sudan, they should also able to communicate. Let them communicate with the embassy. Let them write letters to the Zimbabwe. I don't know what is the minister doing. He doesn't talk. He doesn't communicate. He doesn't respond to the embassy. So it means that there's a communication breakdown. So it means the ministry or the honorable minister should improve on how best he deal with higher education, science and technology activities. So he should be able to do that, because right now he doesn't communicate with the embassy, he doesn't respond to Zimbabweans. So it means it's not something which is very fair. So among all the things, we shall be here in the embassy until maybe when our government respond positively by clearing the 1.4 million that is overdue, and that's when I think we can, for those who are finished, can go back to South Sudan with their papers, and for those who are still progressing with their studies, can continue amicably without being disturbed. Among all the things, we also appreciate the embassy here in Zimbabwe, because over this long period of time, they have been begging the universities and the concerned authorities, sending them letters such that we can be accommodated and such that we can be given all the necessary treatment that we deserve. So it's a grateful and it's a great appreciation to the embassy for the role that they have been taking. In that juncture, I give credit to His Excellency Ambassador General Guy Riak, who is the head of mission in Zimbabwe, and also to his deputy, Ambassador Boutros Tokdeng. Both of them, they have been working hard and harder to ensure that we finish our school successfully, and also so that we can also participate in the development of our beloved country, South Sudan. With those few remarks, I'd like to request our dear parents and our beloved countrymen and women to continue to preach the message of peace and love and unity among ourselves, such that in the next few years we wouldn't have South Sudanese people going to refugee camps and also going to other countries seeking for education. These are some of the things we can easily provide in our country. But because of the nature of the crisis that we have, that's why our government has been trying to send out students to different countries such that they can come back with the skills and technological abilities to develop the country. But I believe if we can all have peace in our country, we can do all these services, we can provide them, we can build industries, we can transform and make sure our universities, they are up to international standards of higher education. So I believe if we continue to preach peace and unity among ourselves, then I believe in the next 5 years to come, South Sudan can be a better country, because I believe we have been blessed. That's why we have South Sudanese in America, South Sudanese in Australia, Canada, East Africa. So I believe in the next few years to come, if we have peace, all these people will team up together and collectively join ideas and skills and help to transform South Sudan into the better country that we all dream of. So thank you so much. May God bless South Sudan on behalf of South Sudanese students in Zimbabwe. Let our country and let us all continue to preach peace and unity and love among ourselves. Thank you. Shukran.